This week, your subconscious is the most intelligent and powerful being in the room. Hello, and welcome to our energy briefing. The purpose of our briefing and every briefing is to leave this meeting knowing yourself a little bit better and understanding energies a little bit better and deploying these energies a little bit better using pareto principle and making choices, hopefully right choices at the right time. And isn't this nice to deploy energy and use it in the best way which is available to us this week? What is the best is up to you. Up to me is to share what's going on in our energy field and what psychological patterns get also affected through these energy shifts. And as always, we talk about the atmosphere of the week or the weekend or the month or the year, depends. And then we go to psychology for those who would like to have a little bit more self knowledge. And if you're short on time, you can skip to Pareto choices section and see what you can do about the given energies. So that was our agenda for today. And the main point in our meeting today is the new moon in Pisces. And this is a special atmosphere. Part number one, the atmosphere. So Pisces, the atmosphere. The atmosphere of this weekend is like, imagine you're at the sea, it's early morning, the sun is rising, and you are standing there, so the sand maybe still a little bit cold, and you are anticipating this day and thinking like, wow, looking forward to something full of inspirations, dreams, and what this beautiful day will bring. Or option number two, you're there at the sea, it's still the same timing, it's still the same location. You're feeling a little bit wow, though. You're like, whew, maybe I had too many drinks last night, or maybe that was not the best choice of how do I go through this day. But still, the sea looks so beautiful and so inspiring and nothing else matters when I look at it because I feel like I'm a part of something bigger, and then there is this vast ocean, and me, a drop within this ocean, and we become one whole thing. And that's sort of the atmosphere where you may find yourself this weekend, and the only sound or this sound of the weekend is the sound of your inner voice, of your intuition, of your subconscious. And this is why your subconscious is the most intelligent, powerful, and maybe interesting being in the room this weekend. Part number two, psychology. The psychology behind that is very complex because Pisces, it's not so simple. Before we go into that, maybe it is important to make a note on astropsychology in general, and there is one principle which is very valuable for us to embrace in this case, and this is the principle of duality. Astrology follows the principle of duality. What is up there, down there? Not what is up there, what is down there is because of this, what is up there. It's rather the mirror, the duality, the yin and yang, the black and white. Moon goes left or right or moves on, and the sea also moves back and forth. Is the sea moving because the moon is moving? Well, we don't know. Can we prove that? Maybe not. Is this our observation that this is what happens? Then yes, that's our observation. That's the pattern that we observe, and that's the duality principle in action. And the thing is, and same in psychology or early psychology, if we look at it, Sigmund Freud and co. There is the self, the ego, there is the id, there is the whole structure, and there is something which goes beyond our brain, if you want. In a nutshell, simplified. And then there is the whole process of this identity shift or becoming, if you want, or unbecoming, energetically speaking. More about it, well, maybe in the other episode. Anyways, and so there is the duality principle, and the thing with astrology and psychology is that it's not even wrong. Sigmund Freud was or is, or I mean, there is no consensus around the whole thing. The consensus is that it's beautiful and it's interesting and it somehow works. The thing with astrology and psychology, or in that case, is that it cannot even be proven wrong if we look at the scientific side, because for us to speak scientific discoveries, we need to be able to do this. So that's the thing. It's not even wrong. It's not even wrong. And then if we talk modern version and if we speak neuroscience and of psychology and their combo, yes, then we go to into very precise details because we see the connection between brain and certain areas of brain and activation of certain patterns in us or behaviors or feelings, and that's pretty straightforward. And this is all within our body, and there is the brain, there is the result, and pretty straightforward. So whatever case is yours or whatever view you prefer, it could be also both. It could be both, and it's just a tool or just a lens to look at things. And that's very interesting. That's very interesting. So that was a side note about duality principle and what's the link between astrology, psychology, how they sort of talk to each other in a nutshell. Pisces. Now we go back to Pisces. That's what happened last night between 2 and 3 a.m. in the night. I'm located in Munich, so timing I share is Central European time zone. To get into the psychology of Pisces and to really embrace what's going on right now this weekend, is worth to have a look at the whole development cycle of how energy goes around. I think we're all agreeing today that more or less that everything is energy, and in our case with astropsychology, we also look at this just as an energy ball, if you want. First comes Aries. The energy comes to the world, and Aries is there, and Aries is like, I am here. And it's not, the energy is very, it can be very aggressive, very straightforward, very, Aries is a warrior, because it's the first stage in the loop. You get out of your mother's belly, not in a fluffy blanket wrapped in cuteness. You get out there is blood, you scream, you're like, wow, what's going on here? And this is Aries, that's the energy. Then the energy gets a little grounded in the material world as a Taurus comes into the game, and you feed the baby, you put the baby in comfort. There is everything that you have, and Taurus says enjoy and enjoy your senses, enjoy the touch, enjoy the food, just enjoy being comfort and have your resources. And then after this we go into other stage, and this is where we meet Gemini. And Gemini comes and says, I think, and I also speak. I say my first words, I say mama, so on, and I start communicating with the world. Then comes Cancer, and Cancer is like, I feel, and then there is this. I acknowledge that there is my mom, that there is my dad. I have the family. It's all about empathy, care, safety feelings, and you're not just randomly saying, "Mama," you already been a little bit more aware of what's going on in your life and around you. And then comes Leo, and Leo is like, I want, buy me this toy. This is my self identity birthday right here, right now. And then comes Virgo, and Virgo hears from mom, oh, why did you put all your toys here everywhere? Put them in order. And you're like, there is an order, there is discipline, there is some rules to follow. How can I also be helpful for this society? How can I serve? How can I analyze also what is going on around me? So attention to details, order, analysis. And Libra comes afterwards, and Libra wants to balance. Libra builds relationships not only with toys but also then with people in front of Libra. And then comes Scorpio, and Scorpio activates transformative engine. And Scorpio says, I crave, I want this, I'm thirsty for it. It's Scorpio is passion, it's activation of deep feelings inside, libido activation as well. Then comes Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is like, I search. What can I study? How can I broaden my horizons? Where can I travel? Where can I go? Then comes Capricorn, and Capricorn is like, okay, I use the resources here, and I actually already have some authority, some stability, so there is a structure around it, and I'm like, okay, this is it. This is like, I'm doing great. This kind of stuff. And then comes Aquarius, and Aquarius is like, wait a second, I have an idea of the future. I know it. Come, follow me. And we will see what is there beyond stereotypes, beyond established processes, beyond patterns, and beyond just beyond. And then comes Pisces, and Pisces is like, what is actually the meaning of all that? Wait a second. Let's have a deeper look. Let's have a deeper look. And what about our values? What about dreams? What about Pisces is like, I believe, I have a dream. I have a dream. And wrap up the end of the cycle, beyond everything, and the energy is dissolving, and it becomes ocean again. It becomes like that ocean, and that's the atmosphere, and you're there like, I'm the part of something bigger. That's what new moon in Pisces is about. The question is, and the choice is, and this is where we go to part number 3, pareto choices. That's where we go to choices, because the whole purpose and the whole idea is to make a choice. We make a choice. However, often we must do things. And yet still everything is a choice, and our responsibility of these choices. The question is, how can we deploy best like what is given to us, the energy is given to us, where are we going, our intention, what's the right timing, can we somehow combine, what would be best to do right now? Like you don't plant certain trees in winter. Maybe they can grow if you bring them like somewhere, you put it in certain conditions. But what we have is here like sun and ground and water. And when do we plant? When do we plant? And that's what this is about. Yeah, yeah, that's what it is about.
Smart.
Yes. We take what is given, we take what's the timing, and we're like, what's the best, next best offer, next best activity, next best action. And given the energies of Pisces this weekend, the best, I mean, the best. It's your choice. It's your choice. Um, you can dream and you can be this part of something bigger, and you can embrace this higher level. See inside yourself, listen to your voice and to your intuition, to visualize, to think, to feel. Like, no, think, no, don't think. Mercury is out of office this weekend. Retro Mercury in Pisces, the worst position for Mercury. Let's talk about it another time. New Moon in Pisces is here. The energy is given, the choice is up to you. How do you embrace New Moon in Pisces? Self-destruction? Or do I embrace my fantasy, my dream, my... Do I listen to my inner voice? And it's magical. It's magical, the energy which comes this Sunday. Dream. It's dream. Is I have a dream. I have a dream and I believe in this. That's Pisces. Dear Pisces, your life is not just a crisis. Not only, sometimes, not only though. And maybe dreams is what we need this weekend.